All right, welcome back for another Sugar Free League Season 2 series. Tonight we have Paragon 5 versus the Mateos. And of course, joining me tonight is Supa. Thought we weren't going to be able to stream together tonight, but luckily we are able to. And we've got a pretty good series for you tonight as well. Finally going to be reunited with McTrump here, so excited to see him play. Seems he's been wanting to be on stream. Needs the spotlight, certainly, as they take away his Lucian to start off with. Followed up with a Zoe. Got a Sejuani as well out of the way. And now the LeBlanc. So a few different bans being thrown out, but mid lane the focus for both sides so far. And Rengar also going to be taken off the table, as of course we have a Rengar, main in the jungle on this side for the Mateos. So we're not going to get to see that champion too much. As Silas is going to be the last ban here. Well, I've seen a few times that Solki hasn't gone super well for me as well. We're going to get Shaco right off the bat. First pick Shaco here from Scar Rain, which is exciting to see. Didn't expect that one, to be honest with you. A lot of high priority jungle still up, but I don't know. What do you make of this? Because I certainly was not expecting this one.
So Shaco is actually one of Skarain's main picks. If I had to label his two main champions, it would be Rengar and Shaco. That's the bread and butter.
Does it make sense with the clan tag? I believe he's got Rock in there. And when you ban away, one of the junglers the enemy wants to play, you go ahead and first pick the other one you want to play. Makes sense here. That way you get the matchup you want. But Ivern going to be the pickup here alongside Morgana, which, Ivern seems to come back with the increase in power of 80 carries. And speaking of an increase in power in 80 carries, we're going to get Callista and Galio. Callista, have not seen this champion in a long time, but in the right hands, can be an incredibly powerful champion with just ridiculous mobility. We'll see what they paired up with in the bottom lane. A classic combo is Thresh, and maybe we'll get something exciting from Nova. But on the other side, the Morgana can be pretty adept at shutting down the Callista. You land her with a binding. If she can't move, she loses a ton of power in her kit. As Sivir will be joining Morgana in the bottom lane. So a very safe bottom lane with double spell shield. So Thresh may not be the pick this time, but we'll see. We'll see what they go with here. Callista always an aggressive champion.
I think right now the focus for Mateos is to just try to make it through laning phase.
Speaking of laning phase, a powerful laner we take away in the Fiora. And so top lane maybe going to be the second focus here, as both sides taking their bottom lane in the jungle. Mid lanes have seen a few bans, but top lane matchups now the focus here for Riverboy and Verboclorox. See what they end up going with their last ban here for the Mateos. And it's going to be Urgot. So more top lane focus, a lot of powerful top laners. I believe Riverboy has played Urgot a couple times, so it makes sense to take it away from him, as he's been pretty good on that one. And what do you think is be the last ban here coming in? Probably another top lane ban, you think?
I think they're going to try to ban out another mid lane champion like the Corki or something that counters the Galio a little bit easy.
Well, I guess a flex pick here, the Kennen going to be the last ban. So one that you can flex to mid or top lane, but we've seen a little bit of Klepto Kennen recently, has risen in popularity. Both AD and AP versions, though AP been the more popular one.
Just a little bit too much for Riot's taste, especially the Frost Mancy Kennen build was definitely something on Riot's radar that enjoyed, because it allowed a support main to go top and get tops, points for that ranked solo queue, but
there you go.
Riot said no, you can only play one position forever. Thanks, Riot.
I gotta keep you in your place here, as we're gonna get a Vladimir and Lulu pickup from Paragon 5 to round this one out. So the Callista gonna go with a range support this time, and Vladimir, well, it could be top lane or mid lane. Probably mid, or probably top rather, and Galio mid. So Malzahar Galio, a matchup we've seen many times before, we'll get again. And now Furry Laser gonna be picking for Clorox. We'll see what he decides to pick up for him. Knowing that the matchup is most likely with Vladimir, which is a tough one for any top laner. We'll see what they go with the last pick. Well, actually, okay. So maybe this is mid lane Sivir with Malzahar top and Ashe AD carry. So not really sure what they're going with here, but double AD carry is a very interesting setup.
Or, and this is something that I saw in like solo queue last night, and it snapped my 11-game win streak, so I really hope they don't do it. But it could be Morgana mid with the Ashe support, or they're just trolling, apparently.
Okay. So I've heard
Right,
Sivir mid's a thing, kind of. I've heard Nate's told me a little bit about the Sivir mid. I don't know if he's actually being serious or not, but I thought that might be what it was, especially when you see the Galio. I could understand going like an AD mid laner. Because, yeah, of course, Galio is all about stopping those AP threats, but it looks like it was just a mispick here, and or something went wrong. Sometimes we have those client bug outs, and we're getting everyone back in the lobby, so excited to see if this tournament is actually a thing that's going to happen, or if if they're just playing around with us. Okay.
Wow.
I'm gonna ask them real quick and see if that was the actual draft or if there was a mistake.
What?
Okay, so apparently the draft is all the same except the last pick. So the Ashe will not be coming out.
Alright. I don't know, Ashe support is really good according to
yeah.
According to Listoya. It's a really good pick.
Okay, yeah, so the support for Laser picked Ashe, and then he DC'd. I guess something went wrong. I don't know what happened there, but the Ashe will not be in. Everything else will be, so up until that point. So they're still going to pick their top laner as their last pick, I'd assume. So we'll end up being that Malzahar mid with the Sivir bottom lane with that Morgana, and then we're going to get the top lane pick. We'll see what that is in the end there for Verbal Clorox. As we move back into Champion Select real quick. And, well, now we just sit through the ban phase again. And and wait to see the picks. But what do you think is going to be the counterpick top lane? I mean, I know you've only played top lane for a short while, abusing the Kleptomancy, but...
Hey, whoa, I never said I played it. I said I had the opportunity.
Oh, yeah, had the opportunity. Well, with your limited experience...
I walked in top, they dodged, so...
With your limited experience, what do you think what would you guess the top lane counterpick here to Vladimir is going to be, or at least... or they could not counterpick and just go for a tank, but what do you think is going to be the pick here for Verbal Clorox?
Yeah, like maybe something like Irelia, or just something really good for team fights, but at this point that against Galio, you just want something that's going to be really reliable at any stage of the game, so I honestly like the Ashe pick. I thought that was pretty good, but playing tonight, so
they already had the Sivir, so not going to double up on the AD carries most likely. But I suppose, I mean, like, you do have a good team fighting comp so far with an Ivern, a Sivir, a Morgana, and a Malzahar. I think all you're missing there is a tank in the top lane. But Verbo Clorox may not want to do that.
May be coming out.
Yeah. Darius, I think, was unbanned. So I don't know if that's not really a team fighting pick, but could be an option. So Sion, I think Sion's probably the best tank available, like you said.
I could also see Darius though. Like Darius wouldn't be an awful pick here. And that would also make sense as to why they banned the Yorick, as Yorick is kind of strong into Darius.
And again, of course, can be banned away once again. But yeah, lots of top lane focus in the last couple bans here, but there's still a ton up. Mostly tanks, but there's a few, maybe you'll see a Gnar or something crazy, but I'd assume, yeah, like you said, I would imagine it's going to be a tank, just based on everything else that they've picked, right?
Gnar did receive a buff recently, if I remember patch notes, or if I'm thinking of 9.4. Might be thinking of 9.4.
Well, we will see momentarily what the pick is. Echo a hover? Looks like it might just be, yeah, Echo top lane.
In the famous words of the Blippo from Fnatic himself.
Yeah, that didn't go super great.
I can quote that, actually. I don't think I can quote his exact words.
It didn't go great, but this could certainly work. I can see in theory why it could work. So we're going to get some more mages here. Well, I consider Galio almost a mage, right? He's kind of a hybrid. A bruiser mage, maybe. But like 4 mages in the solo lanes, and then a couple strong AD carries here in the bottom lane. Well, they have Galio in the support role right now with Lulu mid. Are they actually going to stick with it?
That is something that, if I remember correctly, from like my limited LCK viewing, that is something that a couple teams have been doing. They've been pairing Galio with Callista for a really nice ult into Galio taunt, which can be really devastating if landed correctly. So I think that's what they're going to go for here.
I mean, yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense. I see the combo potential like Threshes or Blitzcranks or just any melee support, even Braum, things like that. You use the Callista ult aggressively and then they chain their CC. It makes a lot of sense. Just surprising to see that. Usually I've just been so used to seeing him mid lane.
But I really enjoyed the amount of flex picks that that P5 brought out in this game. Galio and Vladimir can all be basically interchanged. Maybe Vladimir's support not so good, but
yeah, Vladimir's support not great, but it's playable, I think. Grab the Spell Thieves.
I really hope that Fell casting crew does not have some random curse that makes things will into solo queue. Because I still see Ashe supports, thanks Listoya for that.
Yeah. I mean, you never know with him what he'll do, but all we know now is that we're getting Galio support versus a Morgana. The other thing, though, that I'm curious about playing the Galio is I thought the whole point of picking the Lulu here alongside the Callista was that you saw the Sivir Morgana bottom lane, and you're like, well, we can't really engage on that ever because all their spell shields. And so I feel like with Galio, you're sort of losing a lot of that potential, especially with how predictable his taunt is.
Well, that's kind of like the good thing about the Callista Galio combo is because you can go Callista ult into one of them to knock the spell shield off.
Oh,
and then
yeah, that's true.
Even if you don't hit the spell shield off, you can Q with the Galio to knock it off and then taunt them. They just have a lot of ways to get the spell shields off of the Sivir and the Morgana.
That is true. I didn't think of that. Winds of War is a really good way to get rid of the spell shield on Sivir, and even Morgana to some extent, because like Blitzcrank and Thresh, they have all their spells are hard to see that they need, right? All the spells they can knock the spell shields off with. So like
the one that you need to land with.
Exactly. So but Galio, you can knock it off with Winds of War, then go in for the taunt or the Justice Punch, and land that one and try and go from there. I think that makes a lot of sense. If you think about it that way, that could definitely change. We also got a double TP here from the Vladimir Lulu, just a single one from the Malzahar and Echo on the other side. Malzahar going to be with a TP in the mid lane, so should be pretty passively in the mid lane, but top lane could get pretty aggressive, and in the jungle, both junglers that can gank, and of course, Shaco with his, his deceive can get in, some interesting angles, so that'll probably be where the action is, maybe in the bottom lane as well, but mid lane should be a farm, wave clear fest over there. Unless we get ganks at 6, maybe? But even then, I wonder if Ivern Malzahar has enough damage to actually kill the Lulu.
I don't know, maybe. Maybe if the Malzahar is right on top of him and Ivern puts the shield on him, maybe the burst damage from the shield, but I don't see that having a lot of kill potential.
Especially without the ignite, probably not going to happen, but we'll see.
It's definitely going to be hard. I mean, if Malzahar gets a full rotation off on Lulu, maybe. And then Ivern comes in, hits the snare, hits the daisy, hits the shield, I guess, but he's having to hit to get a kill. I pray to God Shaco doesn't show up. I don't see it happening.
Alright, now we're hopping in the game. Starting it off nice and easy as everyone spawns in. Will be the Mateos on the red side. Paragon 5 on the blue side to start it off. As we all make our way out of the base. A couple pings go down here for the Mateos. Do have the potential for a double snare level 1 with the Mugrana binding. And the follow-up from Ivern. That could certainly make something happen. As they're coming in 5 men strong. The root will land now, and Sharang is maybe in trouble. Yep, there he goes down. First blood over. Good binding lands, and now the Mateos with off to a very nice start. Already landing that kill in the mid lane. We said they didn't have enough damage level 6, but apparently they have enough damage level 1. At least when you bring 5 men to do it. Shaco is setting up his boxes here on the red buff, so he'll start there, and looks like we get a red buff start as well from Rengal, but no leash required for him as he struts his way on over. Wards on this red buff here, so the Shaco will be spotted in terms of his starting location. As with the leash in the boxes, he's able to clear that pretty quickly.
And one thing you'll notice if you watch Shaco, for all of you learning Shaco players out there, he actually put 2 boxes with the red buff and the other boxes with the Krugs. And that's to help clear the Krugs faster, the leash from red anyways. Pro tip. Watch.
Get the 2 boxes on each camp, helps you go faster. A little bit of an overkill to do all 4 of them on the red buff. All 4 that you can place down before the initial spawn of the camp, so makes sense. Then usually you clear that red buff right before you get to the Krugs. The red buff is dead before the Krugs actually spawn, so you don't lose much time. Now a potential invade here. We got the Ivern and Shaco facing off. A quick rotation from Truly AC to Free Laser will shut that invade down. First Scuttle went over on to Scarrain, and looks like he's going to try and pick up the second one here after picking Raptors up in the top side. But a very passive route here from Rengal to start off. No potential, no big ganks or attempts at getting a crab. Obviously just wants to steal away any camps he can, and then, avoid the Shaco early on. I don't think the 1v1's great, obviously. The 1v1's never really great for Ivern against anyone. Not exactly a
I don't know, I
damage
think
champion.
he could probably take Janna. I think Ivern versus Janna, Ivern is favored.
Probably. I think that is a 1v1. I think he could lose against Lulu, though. I think that's probably where the matchup doesn't go so great. That's probably the support he cannot beat. But Janna, he just might. If you give him like 30 seconds, here's another problem. Could he actually kill Janna? I think he'd beat her if they just fought.
I think he could poke her, and if he lands the Q, gets the Q out, but then
Well, here talking about that Ivern, he will go for a gank and lands the Q this time. Sharang in trouble, but he'll be okay. As he just gets out with a little bruise, but yeah. The Janna, he just might not kill the Janna. It'd probably take him about 30 or 40 seconds to do, you'd think, right?
I think Janna would be able to probably, if the fight starts going south, she'd be able just to disengage with her Q and walk away. So maybe out trade.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think they can kill each other, as they're going to go in for a quick trade here. The binding used defensively. And should get away. Quick disengage here as they hit the 440 mark here. Only one kill, of course, at that level 1. But despite that 2,000 gold lead, or 200 gold lead, rather. Gained here for Paragon 5. It's just CS in lane, really. 34 to 19 in the bottom lane. A pretty big lead gain here for McTrump and Nova. As another binding going to head out, and we get more visual lag, but it's going to land here on to McTrump. Just going to find some damage back here, so... Laning phase going pretty well here for Paragon 5. Ahead everywhere, but the mid lane, for the most part. Where they're technically even ahead there, but that's really pretty much even overall. Turbochlorix can go in here. Riverboy in trouble.
If you're Mateos, this is kind of where you want to be.
As looks like we will get another kill here. Turbochlorix going to find this one onto Riverboy, chase him down the Ignite. In that gank, Scarrain now in the mid lane. He's going to find some autos onto Impact, but the flash away will save him. No Ignite used from Scarrain there, so straight up Summer Spell advantage.
If you're Mateos, this is exactly where you want your lanes to be. You want your bot lane to be pushed in ever so slightly for that Ivern to be able to walk over and Q, get an engage in, or that Morgana to land something first.
Rengal looking for a mid lane gank again here, but will not find it. Sharang is wise to it. And now Riverboy going to take another bad trade there in the top lane. Had to use the TP to get back to lane, so now he's Summoner Spell-less. Has a Phase Rush to get away a little offensively, but once Turbochlorix lands that W, it's going to be pretty difficult for him to get away. That stun could be huge if for a potential solo kill. That Sangling Pool there, good defensively as well, so going to be important to note those cooldowns. Moby Boots was the first purchase here for Rengal, so definitely planning to get around here and gank quite a bit and team out on the other side for Scarrain to help clear those camps faster. Has a 2-camp lead so far. And the CS continuing to grow in the mid and bottom lane, and has closed up in the top lane here. Riverboy, after that kill, lost a bit of CS, and now Turbochlorix is back even with him. The Paragon 5 is 2 of their winning lanes. So that's the good news for them. Impact really struggling to keep up with the pushing of this Lulu in the mid lane here. The wave clear is not there yet. He needs a couple levels. You know, those metallic visions and those creepy little void creatures that crawl around that give me the heebie-jeebies. But once he gets those, that's when the wave clear really takes off. The Lost Chapter also helps with that mana sustain. And in the top lane, yeah, has gotten that off this back, which is important, as both mid laners have picked that up now. Thing over here, we do have a Mountain Drake on the table here, about the 8-minute mark, 2-0 in kills, but again, 200 gold lead here for Paragon 5, despite being down those kills. And a rotation here from the bottom lane.
Mostly coming off of the Callista being 15 CS above the Sivir.
It's been a good winning lane here for McTrump and Nova. McTrump, one of our better AD carries, and showing that's a good performance here in Game 1 on the Callista, alongside the Galio here for Nova. Haven't had many fights yet, but their CS and lane presence have been great. Now they are pretty pushed up though, so that is something to worry about. Potential gank.
That is another reason that the Galio support pick is really strong, is because Galio still has a bunch of early damage for champions. Like, Morgana is not the squishiest support in the game, but she definitely doesn't have as much HP as something like Alistar or, Braum. To just probably shred her at level 6.
Yeah, you can see the Winds of War used to wave clear alongside McTrump, which really keeps the Sivir off balance. Like usually she'd be able to outclear the Callista, but with the help of Galio, it becomes very difficult. As the Drake will be started up here. It's a Mountain Drake. We got a Lulu rotating from the mid lane as well. Clone used by Scar Rain to pick this one up, and they should get this Drake in pretty timely fashion. Riverboy and Impact. Quick rotation up, but Riverboy going to be okay, and they get nothing off that Drake, so the Mateos give up the Drake. Despite being up in kills, they really don't have the map control they're looking for. Top lane is going well, but everywhere else is not great here. 87 to 61 in CS in the mid lane, 88 to 66 in the bottom lane, and the jungle, a slight lead for Scar Rain.
And I think that was the failed gank top just now, I think was just patient. Impact set in the bush, and Echo did not to help meet up with that. Clorox didn't have to worry about much. Or, not Clorox. Riverboy. There we go. Sorry, Riverboy is new. Still learning his name.
Verbal Clorox going to go in, though, with an aggressive trade. Riverboy going to be okay. Verbal Clorox, once he procs that passive, he can, trade quickly and get right back out. So he's able to win these quick trades, but the sustain there is there for Riverboy with the transfuses. Consistently getting that HP back with some AP and CDR already purchased. He's sitting fine in that lane, despite dying early. Now Impact may be found in the mid lane, and he's going to flash away out of the river. Taunt used there, and once the special was broken, Nova forced that flash out of Impact.
There's also a really good silence from Impact on the Malzahar, placing it ahead of him where he was walking. That way, if the Galio did try to... He got silenced and was not able to taunt or Justice Punch to him.
Being very safe there, so Impact gonna stay deathless in this game, but down quite a bit of CS here. Riverboy again taking a bad trade up top lane. Rengar going to come in, not going to find a gank this time either, though. He hasn't had great success in this early game. He's got one successful gank off, and of course that level 1 but his map control hasn't been the best. Scar Rain is also pressured a little bit with his some ganks of his own. But overall, good safe play here from Paragon 5 has, stumped him from getting anything done. Rengal gonna look for gank mid lane again, misses that route. Again, Charang and Riverboy have been pretty good about being very aware of where the jungler is. I assume they're getting tips from Skarrain, making sure they know where that enemy Ivern is. Playing to the right sides of the lane and being safe overall.
Definitely. P5 actually doesn't have too many wards out right now, so being helpful from the Shaco. Patient.
Maybe a potential fight in the top side here. Skarrain running away. Potential rotation here from mid and top lane, but everyone will make it out alive. As we reach the 13-minute mark. Again, 2 kills, but Paragon 5 still in the lead in terms of gold. And, of course, have that Mountain Drake already picked up. Looks like Rift Herald is the next objective to fight over. Here are some wards invested from the Mateos to try and secure that objective, as they've made a few moves around it. But it's kind of difficult to take with Ivern, especially if he doesn't have Daisy. It's really difficult. But if he does, it can make that a bit faster. Not a huge damage, consistent damage champion anyway.
This is actually a kind of a different P5 than we normally see, I feel. Normally, P5 looks to be in the solo lanes early. They're playing a way more controlled game, way more laid back, way more safe, which is definitely refreshing. The teams can do more than just one thing.
It's been a pretty calm early game so far. Not too many fights, and you're looking at it. You're right. They're playing pretty safe. And now CS leads in the mid lane, and bottom lane have set up shutdown gold on them. 450 on both McTrump and Charang. Yeah, so he gets another good thwacking down on Truly AC, piercing him with those spears. Been pretty good about that, despite the range reduction on Callista, still bullying around the Sivir, who has even less range.
I actually made the joke earlier that she has like a range of like 300 earlier today.
It sometimes feels that way. She's bigger. She has a longer range than a melee champion, but basically every range champion is longer than she is, except for like Thresh and Rakan, who are like technically range champions, but not really, But every big range champion, like Annie is like 625 range. It's insane how much she outranges Sivir. Here, as the Dragon will go over on the side of Skarrain. Again, this bottom lane and mid lane pressure has allowed them to just take Drakes for free. It's like, we don't even talk about it because it's just happening and no one's responding from the Mateos side. But they've had good control, over the bottom side of this map because of those pushing lanes, and with that priority, Skarrain's able to go in there, set up the clone, and thwack away at that Drake and take it pretty easy.
And that double Mountain Dragon is going to help P5 later, in the later stages of the game with this Callista. They're just going to be able to just melt any objective that they want to take at any point.
A big Baron threat team here. You've only really got one big damage source on the Baron. Well, I guess two if you count the Shaco a little bit, but Callista's a big threat on the Baron. She doesn't have a lot of help, but that second Mountain Dragon will make it super easy to take the Baron. Plus, the Baron secure with the Callista is, one of her strongest points here. Is Skarrain and Rengal going to run into each other. And Pack is here as well. Riverboy rotating down to help, but Verbal Clorox here to outnumber here. As Rengal's going to pick up the kill on a Skarrain, finds that last hit after the ultimate comes through. Verbal Clorox now running away from underneath that turret. Skarrain has showed up. Verbal Clorox now going to ult back out to safety. Riverboy trying to clear the wave up top so the potential dive can't come through. Rotation up now from Nova. Does have ultimate available. Hop over the wall from Verbal Clorox, and Rengal should get away. Yep. Out of danger now. So a kill and they get out. So a third kill now for the Mateos, but still down about 1,000 gold here and have lost those two Drakes, of course. So those kills helping to keep them in the game, but not exactly where they want to be considering they are up 3-0. First item is purchased here for both 80 carries, Blade of the Rune King for the Callista, and of course the Infinity Edge for the Sivir. So everyone's starting to hit their first item of spikes here as a double proto belt for both top laners.
Speaking of Infinity Edge first item, it's pretty funny actually in the 9.4 patch notes. Riot is begging players to stop buying Storm Razor as the first item on Kites.
Why would that be?
Recent changes to Storm Razor, it's just not a really efficient first item anymore. Since it's, you know, like a fire cannon, just completely blank. The Zeal item, that's what those are called. I blanked on the names for that.
Yep.
My bad.
Maybe the solo queue players know more than we think they do.
Maybe.
Gank in the mid lane here. Skarrain is going in on Impact. The ult used defensively, but Skarrain will pick up that kill. The help from Skarrain. And now Impact finds himself in a bad situation. Down he goes with flash and all. And Rengal here to clear up the mid waves. So no damage on the turret, but a good gank.
That was really good play. Really well played on the side of Skarrain there, using the ult to prevent the Malzahar from getting too far away with anything. A lot of players actually do forget that Lulu's ult is also a knockup.
Purple Clark's now in trouble. He's able to run away. Still the ultimate available as well. Had to flash, but he'll be okay. Another good gank from Skarrain. Well, kind of found him in the jungle there. As he steals away the Krugs. Maybe potential turn on to the Rift Herald. No dragon for another minute or so. And Baron going to spawn at a similar timing. With that double Baron, potential rotation here. If they send McTrump and Nova to push in the bottom lane and then rotate up, maybe they can take it really early. And blow this game wide open here. Paragon 5 certainly have had some quick ones in their past.
It's definitely one of the slower games that we've seen Paragon 5 play in a while. And speaking that to more of that controlled style that we really haven't seen too much from of them, they usually, again, just try to put the foot on the pedal and go to town.
Gank up top lane, Verbal Chorus going in, a Riverboy, Rengal's here, Impact is here. They're trying to find Riverboy, but they will get the ultimate down on him, but Skarrain is here to help out. Give some Riverboy some HP, a heal, and now Rengal taken down by Skarrain, down in the blink of an eye. Skarrain charging forward, but he's going to get stunned up here by Verbal Clorox, but now he's forced to run as Skarrain comes back in. Impact and Verbal Clorox will make it out, but they're not so lucky to bring their jungler with them. Rengal going to go down for that aggressive play. Good rotation defensively there from Paragon 5. And on to the Rift Herald they go as Nova and McTrump continue to push in the bottom lane. McTrump at over 10 CS a minute right now, 201 CS at 1945. Sitting at a very impressive mark here, 160 to his opponent as McTrump kiting forward aggressively. And now, defensive bind here from Furry Laser, and Truly AC's already out of there. Good ult offensively. The first turret will go down. McTrump flashing onto Furry Laser. Will he find? Yes, he will. The Ren going to secure the kill. McTrump kiting past the turret. We'll find the kill here. Evening up the kill score 3-3 here. 33,000 gold to 29,000. Paragon 5 still firmly in the lead. Maybe looking for this next Mountain Dragon. A third Mountain Dragon in a row. Could be huge for them to pick up. As we've just crossed the 22 or 20-second mark here. So Baron's on the table as well. We'll see what they go for. But an impressive play there from Nova and Trump with a good engage and great kiting from McTrump.
Also, it's important to note that Sivir actually did heal at the end of that to try to save the Morgana, but it was just not in time. So they are also down heal now.
Used quite a lot to try and get away there, and they weren't even able to save Furry Laser. 2 items now for the Callista, both Blade of the Rune King and Runins, plus her boots. A very important item for her. Means she's at a very powerful state here. 21 minutes. This is the opportunity for Paragon 5 to blow open this game, maybe get a big fight around the Dragon or Baron, or just take one of these objectives and try and force down a situation where maybe they got a split push going on, or just walk down and take a turret.
And
Only problem with that is
Paragon
Sivir.
5 does have TP advantage, as Echo has Ignite. So they could honestly just force.
Yeah, could get the split going with Riverboy in the bottom lane or in the top lane. As they take the third Mountain Drake here. Picking that up's pretty big. I mean, 2 is great. 3 is even better. Now the Baron is going to die pretty much instantaneously to them. Rift Herald also available, I believe, still. Yep, 4 Scar Rain there. So they could just, you know, plop this down the mid lane and try and make something happen here. Ult used forward for McTrump and Nova. The team fight gonna break out. Truly AC is getting some free shots in the backline. Gallia gonna be ult being used to buy some room. Roboclark's gonna be used the ult defensively to try and get out McTrump, though. He's doing a lot of damage in the backline. He finds double kill here. Now Furry Laser gonna buy some time with Zonias. Riverboy now in trouble. He's getting the Ignite on him. Will he be able to heal through it? No, he won a double kill now as the binding lands. And McTrump did a lot of damage, but a lot of counter damage. And now he's in a bit of trouble. Verbal Clorox, he's going forward, but no, a third kill for McTrump. Now he's on a Furry Laser. That's 4 kills in unofficial Quadra. As McTrump, well, the follow-up there was trying to kill him, but was not able to do so. McTrump very low. Actually, that Space Ade's got him very low here as the charge will come in through the mid lane and kill that turret. So all the outers have been taken down now. And that fight wasn't exactly the prettiest, but it ended up going pretty well there for them overall after they got the turret on the back of it. McTrump picked up even more kills here. 5 now, 1,000 gold shut down on him. A double kill there for Furry Laser, picking that up with a few last hits of the Tormented Soil, the Binding. And, of course, that ultimate was pretty good there. The Zonias was big. The stopwatch in the runes really helped her out.
It's actually surprising to me to see the Morgana first item in the Redemption here. Especially because they already have the Ivern, who first item the Redemption as well. And Redemption Hills, sadly...
Now Nova in trouble here. He's going to be found by the Binding. Nova now can use a Justice Punch as he gets help from Lulu. McTrump now kiting aggressively forward. Now he's going to move back as Furry Laser comes back into the fight. Now Nova going to buy a bit of room here as he finds a bunch with the Justice Punch for a double kill here for the Sivir on the backside. Now McTrump firing back. He's found 3. Roboclorax now in trouble as McTrump continues to fire on him. Charring going to flash away. Now a quadra kill from McTrump as everyone is down on the side of Mateos. McTrump just 1 kill away from the Penta as they turn on to the Baron. 9 kills for McTrump. And this Baron should be all but dead. 2 do fall for Paragon 5, but a convincing team fight that time.
And that definitely looked like, at the start of it, that Nova was caught out. But just really good teamwork, really good communication on the side of Paragon 5 to be able to turn that into a Baron. A kill for Callista.
A fantastic team fight with McTrump there. But a good defensive play there from Sharang to help out his boy Nova there. Bought him some time and was able to buy enough time for him to run back in the Justice Punch, get a big knockup. And, everyone from Mateos was caught in that choke point. And with Runins, McTrump was able to get the AoE damage he needed to really help out and win that fight.
And Trump finds himself at like a 4,000 gold lead on his opponent right now. It's really insane. That Sivir is just not doing as much as his Callista right now.
Yeah, the CS difference is rather large, and that's part of the gold difference, but the 9 kills also extending that gap by quite a bit. Scarring gonna go here on the Verbal Clorox in the side lane. No, the ult is used here, but no flash available. Verbal Clorox gonna try and dash away the Protobell, but Scarring still on the chase. The Ignite is used, and down he goes. Scarring gonna find a solo kill here in the side lane.
And that is one thing, if you are Mateos right now, you do have to be careful of that ever-present Shaco. especially if you don't have vision on him. You just have to be really wary of pressing forward like that.
Couple of shots on the tower here. Looks like Scar Rain is going to try and split push here. Rengal sent to try and deal with him, but don't know exactly how that 1v1 is going to go. Charring and Impact in the bottom lane battling it out, as we do have a Drake spawn in about 10 seconds. And looks like that'll be the few pings going on it, but a few pings in the bottom lane as well here from Paragon 5. We'll see what the decision is when that does spawn. Another ping on the dragon. Looks like they're going to go ahead and pick this one up. It is an Ocean Dragon. So the 4th Drake here for Paragon 5 going to be picked up at the 26. Well, started at the 26:45 and looks like it will be finished at 26:49. As that thing goes down pretty quick with a Callista and 3 Mountain Drakes. 13 to 8 kills now. 50,000 to 40,000 in gold. Paragon 5 in the lead in both those categories now. Trump gonna send Nova forward here. They find the knock up and down. Truly AC goes. Gonna instantly delete it here. Now Mike Trump though is bound up. Impact is here, but Lulu ult used defensively along with Galio ult to try and save McTrump, and he's okay. Now firing away on the minion wave. The siege may begin now. They've got the Baron minions here. Daisy is summoned to try and buy some time and some room, but even she's held back, knowing the danger that lurks just beyond their reach. As this Baron up cannon minion continuing to pound away, Scarrain in the bottom lane to split push. Sivir is still dead. Truly AC the big wave clear, and he's not available to help out. McTrump now going on the inhibitor. He's got a lot of support around him, and he's already gotten a quadra kill in this game. They've got to kill him first. The Mateos really got to prioritize him, otherwise they're certainly not going to win a team fight. Now they move on to the bottom lane inhibitor turret. Vobelclorak's going to go forward here, setting up. The W will dash in, but Nova going to buy a lot of room with a taunt here. McTrump still firing away. Lulu used on Nova to try and buy some time. Riverboy in the backline, but Sangling Pool going to buy him time. Scar Rain now, he's found his way there. And now McTrump, well, he's going to pound away from the backline. Looks like everyone, well, Vobelclorak's going to try and go in and find the kill on Nova. McTrump has gone down, but there's still 3 members strong here from Paragon 5, and now just 1 left here. On the other side for that, Mateos, just Rengal left to try and do something. He's making his way back out, but one next tower already dead. Scar Rain on these turrets. He does a lot of damage here with all this 18 attack speed. On in the Nexus now at 2840. Looks like that'll be the end of the game. As Riverboy going to clear these minions, but Scar Rain going to hit the Nexus. Down it goes, and looks like Paragon 5 will take game 1 in just over 29 minutes.
That's the typical Paragon 5. They start taking a lead. Let go of it.
Well, they certainly looked good in game 1. Breaking out the Callista Galio was a pretty interesting way to go. But I certainly like the idea here. And looked really great in lane and outside of lane as well.
They actually did show off why you picked that pretty well against the Sivir a moment ago, as they killed Sivir under the mid lane turret. She actually did spell shield the first knockup from the Callista ult, and then straight decimated by the taunt. Justice punch, just everything thrown at her, and you can only spell shield 1.
Yeah, fantastic coordination from them there. Really helped them out, and they, showed why that combo is pretty deadly and is played in the LCK, like you said. And when used correctly, is just fantastic and so hard to deal with. And looks like we will be getting into game 2 in just a second here. We'll be right back, so stay tuned, and we'll have game 2 with you in just a moment.